right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the File menu. So if I go up here and click on File, let's first talk about what we're going to be learning in this video. We're going to be talking about File, and we're going to cover all the functionality inside the File menu. So we're going to cover New, Open Project, Open Team Project, Open Recent, Browse and Bridge, Close, Close Project, Save, Save As, Increment and Save, Revert, Import, Import Recent Footage, Export, Add Fonts from Adobe, Adobe Dynamic Link, Find, Add Footage to Comp, New Comp from Selection, Dependencies, Watch Folder, Scripts, and then all of these down here that are in gray, okay? And then project settings. So we're going to talk about all these, okay, in this video. We're going to be covering this right now. So let's talk about New, okay? Let's go to New. And if I hit the right arrow key, we have 5 options. I can create a new project, a new team project, a new folder, an Adobe Photoshop file, a Maxon Cinnamon 4D file. Now, I'll give you a quick hint that I do have Photoshop installed, but I do not have Maxon Cinema 4D installed. So if we create that file, it's not going to open anywhere if it opens. But Photoshop I have opened and I have installed as well. So if you don't have Photoshop installed, just go to Creative Cloud, the Creative Cloud Web, and install it there, okay? So first thing I want to do is I want to select New Project. And so we're going to go to New, File New, Project, and then what I want to do okay. So we created the new project. Now I want to do let's look at this. Okay, so it's untitled project. So let's go to File, Save As. Okay, and then we'll save this as, you know, new project, or I guess we could do untitled project, but let's call it project space number 1. Okay, and you'll notice the extension is AEP, which is After Effects projects. Sorry. They also have After Effects template project, which gives it a different, it's an AET. So those are the 2 different file types you can save to for the document end of it. Okay, so if I save that, now I have this saved, okay, and now I can go back and we can go File New, and now we can make a new team project just to see what that does. And basically what team project is collaboration. This gives you a way to collaborate and work remotely from anywhere, okay? Anybody with Adobe Creative Cloud, you can send them an email or an invite, and they can work alongside of you. So if I click on Edit, it'll give me the information I want to tell you, and that is invite collaborators to join the current team project. Collaborators can view, they can edit, and delete the contents of the team project. Okay, so it gives you a lot of flexibility to bring on other team members that are not in the same zip code, same time zone, or same continent. They could live in a completely different country, continent on the other side of the world, and they can collaborate with you right from inside After Effects using Creative Cloud, okay? The infrastructure of Creative Cloud gives you the ability to turn an offline application like After Effects into an online application where you can collaborate with anybody, okay? So let's call this After Effects Team Project. Okay, I'll hit OK. We can also write a description if we want, but I'm not going to write a description. All right, so we've made a new team project. Now let's go to File, New, and make a new folder. All right, and we'll call this folder number 1. Okay, And then let's do a Photoshop file. So I'll call this untitled PSD. And like I said, I have Photoshop installed, so it's going to take me right to Photoshop. And I happen to have Photoshop open, so it opened Photoshop right away. So I'm going to give this a black background. If you don't have Photoshop installed, no problem, just follow along and just watch what I'm doing. And there you go. So that's File, New. So those are all your options. New project, new team project, new folder, Adobe Photoshop file. Now I want to make a new project, okay? And we're going to save this. And let's call this sample dash project. Okay, so we're going to save that. And now we're going to be building out our project. And what do I mean by that? Well, this is what I mean. I'm going to be going through the main menu. So File, Edit, Composition, Layer, Effect, Animation, View, Window, and Help. And we're going to be doing a project as we go. Okay. Then we're going to work on workspaces. Same thing. I'm going to go through with a project. And it's all going to be the same project. Okay. So we're going to be doing different things, but we're going to be doing it all in one project. So that way, not only do you learn the interface, but you learn through doing instead of just watching me click on stuff and say, oh, this is the file menu, this is that. Okay, so I'm making it more interactive and more in-depth so it's easier to understand. So let's close this project, and then we're going to do File, Open Project, and we're going to open up Sample Project. Okay, so Open Team Project, we're going to do After Effects Team Project. I'll hit Open. Okay, and then we'll close that. So File, Close Project, or Team Project. And then make sure that we have, go to File and Recent, and let's grab the Sample Project. And make sure that's open. And any other projects that we have open, if there are any, close them out so that we only have this project here. Make sure it's Sample-Project, because that's where I'm going to be building everything. And that's where I want you to build the project that we're going to be doing throughout this entire section and throughout the entire course. Browse and Bridge. Okay, so Bridge is basically an offline version of Creative Cloud where you can, I don't have it installed, okay. Basically, Bridge is like a center point, okay? So it's like, think of like a train station. Okay, a train station has, let's say it's Grand Central Station in New York City, right? And you have 15 tracks going in 15 different directions, okay? Or to simplify it, let's do 4 tracks. One's going north, one's going south, one's going east, one's going west, okay? So the Grand Station is Bridge, and Bridge basically connects Photoshop, Illustrator, and in this example, Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, Media Encoder. Those are all applications for video and graphics, okay, and animation. So they're all connected together. So that's what Bridge is. So this would be Grand Central, and then Premiere Pro would be over here, After Effects would be here, Photoshop would be here, Premiere Pro would be here, and then they would all connect to here. So it's like a file manager. That's what Bridge is, okay? Like I said, I don't have a live example because I don't have it installed. But you really don't need it because we're going to be building things locally and we're not connecting, other than to Photoshop, we're not really connecting to anything else. So when you hit close, that'll close the window. When we hit close project, that'll close the project. We've already done that, so we don't need to do that. If you've saved as, this option here, save, will not be available. But if I create a new layer, so if I right click down here, I thought that's what it was. Let me see. Okay, well, I need to do something for it to work. So let's, all right, so basically what I was trying to do is do something so that save would activate. There you go. So what I did is I clicked on this folder here to create a new folder. And once I created a new action, then it's going to allow you to save. So I'm going to save. And now we can delete this folder, okay? Save as, we've done that. You can save as a copy, save as XML, save as 18.x, save as 17.x. Okay, so if I go to help and we go to about After Effects, I'm going to show you something real quick. Let's see, where is it here? Updates. I wanted to see what the version was of After Effects. Let me just see if I have. Here we go. I figured it out. All right, this is version 22.2, so it's build 120. So the version is 22.2. Okay. Now, if I were to save this as 18.x, that's a previous version. Okay, and then 17.x. So you have a couple versions back that you can go to save. All right. So that's all that is. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of that. Increment and save, revert. That means you can undo. Import. We can import a file, multiple files from libraries, import Adobe Premiere Pro project, vanishing point, placeholder, and salad. So let's do all three of these. Let's do all 7 of these. We're going to do a file first. And remember, you don't have to do this part because I'm just grabbing stuff from my computer just to show you how it works. Okay, so there's no file long file. It's just, I'm showing you an example. Okay, now we can import the untitled PSD that we created. Okay, so I'll hit OK on that. And then let's do file, import, and let's do multiple files. And with this example, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select these thumbnails that I have. Okay, and I'm going to open it. Okay, so you'll notice I have a whole bunch of documents here. And you can see the little thumbnail there. Okay, and then we're going to do File, Import from Libraries. Now, I don't have anything in the libraries that I want to use. All I have is swatches, okay? So color swatches, I built this out in Photoshop. And if I open up Photoshop real quick and go to libraries, you can see exactly what I've done to build this out, just as an example, okay? And again, if you don't have Photoshop installed, that's okay. I'm just showing you how it works, how it will work together, okay? So this is one library. This is another one. This is another one, okay? So you can see I have a lot of stuff in here. And I spent I want to say most of the month of January building thumbnails, okay, for various things. And I came up with all these different styles during that time. So it was a very good month of January, to say the least. Okay, so let me put this back there, and then let's go back to, I was going to say Premiere Pro, but let's go back to After Effects. And then let's go to File, and let's do Import an Adobe Premiere Pro project. Now, I happen to have one. So if you don't have one, it's okay. I'm going to go to Premiere Pro 22.0, and I'm going to go to Main Menu, Josh, Premiere Pro project. Okay, I'm going to hit Open. Yes, I'm going to bring all the sequences in, everything, and if I bring that down to the timeline, you can see let's see how this looks. No, it is a color match, so that's fine. So we'll delete that from the timeline, but you can see it here, okay? And then I have the solids there, okay? And then we can import vanishing point. I don't have a vanishing point, so vanishing point exchange. I don't have one, but if you have one, you can do that. We can also import a placeholder. And this is just, well, it's missing a name, but it's just a placeholder. And then we can also import a solid, which we'll just create a solid matte, just like this one. And you can do the same thing in Premiere Pro, because this is what I did in Premiere Pro. I built out this matte. And so we basically did that in After Effects, but used After Effects. Okay, and then if I go to, so that's all of these options here for import. Now we can import recent footage. Okay, so it'll save the last 4 things that you imported. It may do more than that. Export, we can add to Media Encoder queue. We can add to render queue, export Adobe Premiere Pro project, Maxon Cinema 4D exporter. Okay, so if I add to the render queue, it's going to render inside of After Effects. If I add to the, if I export to Media Encoder, it's going to pop it open. So you'll notice another app will open up, and then we'll be able to output our video in whatever format we want based on what we're doing here. Okay. I absolutely love Media Encoder. This is one of my favorite tools to use because it basically was my first connection to really understanding what video was all about. And this was a revelation that I had about 20 years ago, okay, in college. So about 18 years ago. So you can see all these presets here. We'll kind of look at this real quick. So you have system presets. We have audio only, broadcast, camera, cinema, devices, DVD and Blu-ray, image and sequence, other, VR, web video. So when I was in college, we did DVD authoring, okay? That's how old school I am, right? And they still have it. So you have Blu-ray, you have DVD, and basically what I wanted to learn and what Media Encoder showed me how to do was to compress video. Because what I was doing is I was recording uncompressed video and I couldn't fit it on DVD. Okay, so that was kind of the revelation that I have. I'm going to close Media Encoder. Okay, so let's look at, so we can export the Adobe Premiere Pro project. And if we do that, it's just going to save it as a Premiere Pro project. Okay. And then let's do add fonts from Adobe. If I click on this, it's going to open up my Adobe account. So I'll log in. I want to make sure that it doesn't show any personal information. It doesn't. Okay, so we're okay. I have to be weary because I always like show the screen and then my credit card information shows up. And it's like, oh, okay. So here you can go and you can select fonts. So let's say that we wanted to have like this one right here, okay? I want to have kind of like a tech looking font, right, for Learn Tech. So I can write out Learn Tech and just see what it looks like and adjust the text size and all that stuff. I can activate the font, okay, and activate this one. Whoops, and there you go. So I close that out and minimize this and go back to Premiere Pro, even though we're in After Effects. I'm going to hit Command S to save on the Mac, Control S to save on the PC, and we're dangerous. Okay. So now that we got that done, we can go back up to the File menu and we can look at Add Dynamic Link. So we can do a new Premiere Pro sequence, or we can import a Premiere Pro sequence. So I can create a new one here, and it's going to open up Premiere Pro. All right. So if you don't have Premiere Pro open, it will not work. Okay. But I'm just showing you again what the functionality is. So if it doesn't work, don't worry about it. It's going to give us the same name as our After Effects project. Okay. I'm going to hit OK, and I'll hit OK again. And now we have a linked sequence. So if I go back to After Effects, okay, I can also do File, and we can do Import Premiere Pro Sequence. So once we save this, and let's save this, okay, and I want to find the location, so I'm going to do Save As real quick, and let's do, it should let me do a copy. So save a copy, and I'm going to save it to the desktop so I can find it, okay, and then I'll go back to After Effects, and we're going to import that in. So I'll do add Adobe Dynamic Link, import Premiere Pro sequence. We'll do desktop, and then there you go. So it'll just identify the Premiere Pro sequences and nothing else. connecting to the dynamic link server. We're going to grab that, open it up, bring it in, and there you go. Now this is a cool thing that you can do. You can link the sequences together, be editing in one, and then it changes in the other. Okay. So there you go. That is the dynamic link, Adobe Dynamic Link. If you click here, you can find different things. You can search. Okay. Add footage to comp. Okay. We can add footage. Dependencies, collect files, consolidate all footage, remove unused footage, reduce project, find missing effects, missing fonts, and missing footage. That's if anything is missing. If it's disconnected from the timeline, this is where you can collect it. Watch folder. I'm going to cancel. I don't want to close out of the project. Scripts, so you can run a script file, install script script UI panel, recent script files if we had any, change render location, convert selected properties, demo palette, double up, find and replace, render an email, scale composition, scale selected layers, smart import, sort layers by endpoint, update legacy expressions, upgrade legacy blurs.jsx. So we can run a script file, install a script file, okay. We can create a proxy, a still or a movie, and then all these are not available right now because we don't have any footage. And then reveal in Finder, so this will just show this project in Finder. So if I bring that over, you can see the project right here. Okay, and then finally we have one more thing, project settings. Very important thing. So video rendering and effects, Mercury GPU acceleration, metal, time display style, okay, time code, footage start, use media source, default base is 30 frames, okay, we can also do by frames, color, 8-bit per channel, or 8 bits per channel, working space is none, all this stuff is default, we'll leave it as is, audio, 48,000 kilohertz, expressions, engine, JavaScript. There you go. All right, so that is the file menu. So we went through everything, including the file menu. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.